with 1 win in their final 2 games. So that's a positive note. The NFL Combine is starting, so we got our boy Mekhi Becton up there in Indianapolis starting to do his measurements. He measured in at 6'7", 365, just pure monster.
No, he's top 5.
Do I?
No, his measurement. When I saw he measured 6'7", 3/8, and 364 shoeless, I was like, he's shoeless and padless.
He's already a tackle. He's ready.
He's top 5.
We knew that was coming, though, right?
Yeah. Well, I knew. Yeah, the hype had already started. But when the measurement, we knew. I said when he gets up there and measures, and then he measured that means that when that dude is out on the field, he's about 6'8.5" and about 378, 380.
Yep.
That's what he is on the field. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, right now he's projected as a top 10 pick. They have in most mock drafts. I've seen him going number 10 to the Cleveland Browns right now. But
and 10,
being a top 10 pick, that's solid.
10's fair. I'll go back to. I'll say 10.
And we're still talking about needs based on teams.
He's grading as one of the top tackles.
Let's go Detroit.
Let's put it that way.
Make it happen.
And then one more thing of good news before we get into the rest of the talk. Starting center Malik Williams, it sounds like he's only going to have a twisted ankle, and that Coach Mack is pretty confident that he could return. And I was worried when he went down in the first half that this was going to be something that could drag on through the postseason, and I didn't want that to happen. So it sounds like that's not the case. That's a positive.
Yeah, somebody prayed. Somebody prayed away his injury and said, take this game. Just don't take Malik for the rest of the season.
Listen, man.
Guys. I started the show off as positive.
That was positive. I'll say this. Too,
I guarantee somebody prayed away that game.
Hey, listen, I would. What we're going to talk about, I would gladly trade that.
Right.
Yeah, I would have. If you would have come to me right then and said loss and he's back next game, like, okay, cool.
Right.
Game over. I'll turn it off.
Listen. When I heard he was sitting on the bench and everybody's texting me, his emotions, and I'm just like, if he's on the bench this fast, it's not as bad as you think.
Right. Listen, I don't have a ton of positive today, but one thing I will say, man, that dude completely won me over last night. Like, he moved out of one of my favorite players to one of my favorite ever, because when the look on his face on the bench was one that was like, you just got some terrible news. I
didn't think so.
Your season is over. And
that's what I thought when he was crying.
Right.
Yeah.
But when I find out that was the look on his face because he knew he wasn't going to play again today, I'm like, I'm all in.
Listen, I hate to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. And maybe I like to be that guy more than I like to admit that I like to be that guy. But I thought when I saw him on the bench and I saw him crying, I felt like I knew that feeling before. You're just hurt today. You know what I'm saying? And you listen, you got it rolling. I'm listening. My peoples are listening to Middays with Marcus Maben and rummaging them. They finally giving me my props. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm starting to get some dunks. I'm starting to get some confidence. I'm getting it going. And then I take this injury, early in the game. I know how the coaches are. I know how the doctors are. They don't mess around. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You hurt your. They want you for the tournament. You hurt yourself a little bit, you pretty much done for the day.
Yeah.
I'm ready to beat Florida State, and I'm not going to be at 100% to beat them. That's frustrating.
Yeah, no, I love the passion that you saw with Malik Williams.
Okay, you did get a chance to watch the video though, right?
Yeah.
Did you not with enough sound?
No, I mean I could see, but it's like
Okay, I'll just make sure you got the general.
Yeah.
Dana, start us off right on 93.9.
I don't know about that, Marcus. It's been a while since I've caught in, but your video, someone posted it and shared it or whatever. Good video of what happened in the second half, but I'm going to challenge you to go back and look on the offensive end in the second half when we had our point guards coming down, dribbling around for 20, 25 seconds before they try to either pass the ball, then they dribble around and kick the ball off their foot, and it was just too disjointed. If you come down offensively and do some things well offensively, and put some pressure on Florida State, then everything stays somewhat even. We were just so out of the flow offensively in that second half. It was ridiculous. I don't know if if Matt got out coached by Hamilton.
Well,
if he got
let me
by
listen.
Hamilton,
Let me challenge.
Hold on. Let me get finished, and I'll let you make your comment.
Go ahead.
I don't know if Hamilton. I don't know if Matt got out coached by Hamilton. If he did get out coached by Hamilton, that's a bad person to get out coached by, because we all know Florida State is they're gonna trick it off in the tournament like he always does. So. But for whatever reason, Hamilton has Mac's number. Also, before I get off here, if you remember about a month or so ago, after a game where we had won really ugly in Freedom in the KFC Yum Center, and I was walking through, and I said, "You happy with winning like that?" You said, "Yeah, right now I am." The reason why I asked that is that I knew that those games that we were winning ugly was going to come back to bite us in the later half, in the other part, in the second half of the season, which it's doing. You can't keep winning ugly like that, and then you kind of get used to it. It's like, are we going to be able to do whatever? And it's not working. So I think that I think they're at a point now where I don't know what it's going to take, man. These last 6 games have just been it's been brutal to watch, and even those games we were winning, it was brutal to watch. I mean, they were never. I mean, they were.
Okay. Golly. What was that? What was that, Dana? Listen, I let you keep on going. You know, when you said, you challenged me to one thing, you don't give me a chance to respond on that. I'd say, okay, well, let me ask you a question about that. We watched, and this is what I wanted to ask you, but I could not let you start talking about how Leonard Hamilton is one of the all-time coaches. Like, have you been watching the tournament over the last 10 years? You've seen Florida State in these that's a bad guy to get out-coached by? And with that roster, it's a top, number 6 in the country team?
Yeah. I'm not happy with Louisville today.
Did you watch
the second?
Team. Did you watch the second half? How is Ryan McMahon a top 5 shooter in the country? Yes. Ryan McMahon had 5 wide open 3-point looks. He missed them all. That sucks. Jordan Nwora, is he one of the best shooters in the country? Yes. Jordan Nwora had at least 4 awesome looks where he could either shoot the ball or attack the paint. He did not hit his shot. He did not attack the paint like he should have. But the look was there. We're talking about 9 3-pointer looks. This is a heavy 3-pointing shooting team. Now, if you don't like the fact that they rely on 3-pointer, so does the Warriors. With 2 of the best shooters in the country, 9 clear looks in the second half. That is 27 points worth. If you shoot just 50%, we're still talking 14 extra points on clean looks that 2 of the top shooters in the country got in the second half. Leonard Hamilton ain't the guy to be losing to. Where did Florida State finish in the tournament last year?
What were they? Did they get the Elite Eight?
I'm sorry, the year before last. The year he beats Mac and Xavier. They're at least 16-8.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah, I was gonna say they got to the second weekend.
3 years ago. Like, they've been killing it. Like, what are you talking about? Like, he's a bum.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Yeah, I mean,
again, I heard what you were about to say. I'm mad at my team right now.
Yeah, I'm mad at my team.
But that Florida State team here. Okay, let's backtrack real quick, people, because we need some perspective on this. I didn't watch the game live. I listened to Steve periodically during the game in a frustrated manner tell me about the game. Everybody's turning it over. Everybody's getting beat. Sam's supposed to be in the game. All the emotions of the live action I listen to. Moment the game ends, I go to Twitter. Worst team ever. This team can't do this. This team can't do that. I get the whole spiel from social media. Mm-hmm. I listen to the post game. He ain't got it. This guy ain't got it. Nobody has it, right? I listen to all of that, and then I watch the game. And I'm watching the game, and I'm watching the first half, and I'm watching us winning. I'm watching us, make stops, and I'm watching, Florida State. We giving up what pretty much what the scouting report's doing. Then you get down to about 5 minutes to go in the first half, and I want to call Steve, and, time's going by, and now I'm at halftime, and I'm up 5, and I'm like, okay, Steve, when's the wave coming? And he's like, as soon as the second half starts, the wave is coming. Okay, I watched the first couple minutes. I'm watching. Louisville, like I said, they're playing hard. And then Florida State's coming down, and they're hitting transition pull-up mid-range shots. You know what I'm saying? Vassell is chewing up Dwayne Sutton, right? And I won't even say chewing up. He's scoring on Dwayne Sutton. Mm-hmm. If we call that an individual game, if we said, what's the movie Troy? You send your best fighter against our best fighter. And you put Vassell out there, and I got Dwayne Sutton on there. And you put your team on the sideline, I'll put my team on the sideline, and they fight it out, right? Mm-hmm. Vassell got the best of Dwayne Sutton, right? Last night.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if all things considered, I had my best player, you know what I'm saying, and one of my best defenders on a streaky guy, and your guy got the best of my guy. That's a game within the game. That sucks. But you know what it said? That's a player. Trent Forrest, senior point guard, 6'5", 210, might go down as the winningest point guard of all time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? MJ Walker, rolls his ankle. After he comes off his ankle, some type of way, he gets every foul call because he stepped on the referee's ankle. So I feel like the referee felt like he owed him a break for the rest of the game.
Right.
But like I said, add that up and then look at my video, put all that together. And the commentators telling you this is the most ruckus environment I've ever seen at Florida State. And that says a lot. Mm-hmm. All that matters.
Yeah, I agree.
You would agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I said, I'm mad at my team too. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk. I'm mad at my coach too. And we got all that stuff coming. But don't act like you just went bumbo. And what a loser way to look at a season. Every win is just going to come back. Yes, you're going to lose eventually. One team's going to win a national championship. That our inability to do this is going to make us not win a championship. Yes, that's probably how it's going to end. That's why your odds are.
Yeah.
Lawrence, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Marcus, I told you before the game started last night. If Louisville stay aggressive, gets to the foul line, they're going to win the game by 7 or 10.
You were right.
Florida State saw this and they saw that Louisville had more offense than them, so they got aggressive, started drawing fouls on Louisville, got getting to the foul line. And I believe those fans made those referees predict how the game's going to go. Because when no fans got on referees got those bad calls, they thought they were getting, Florida State was getting, and all of a sudden, dude pushed his ankle, everything changed. Referee started calling everything on Louisville.
No, Lawrence, listen, I appreciate the call. You were right. You need to be aggressive in a game like that.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And I felt like you were aggressive in areas early. I felt like Sam, Dwayne were two of the most aggressive, and Fresh Kimball, actually even Ryan, were some of the more aggressive people out there. Mm-hmm. David as well. Not 10 deep aggressive.
Right.
11 deep aggressive. Florida State's 11 deep aggressive, playing the way they played with that level of passion, is a good team. On that night, you can beat most teams in the country.
Yeah. In
front of your home crowd. When you, like I said, don't let the late game dunk on Jordan Wara, don't let the wide open, blow around on Fresh Kimball make you think that team just quit. Because that's not what happened. And like I said, I watched it. And Texter, that was a funny text about the own radio show host couldn't watch live. The problem is, I'm not sitting in this studio and watching the game. I've jinxed it enough. So by the time I get home, we're winning by 8. So your radio host, who's up 8 right now, after Steve lets me know we're up 8, I say, I guess that means I can't start the game. Because I would never forgive myself if we go from up 8 to down 7 as soon as I started watching the game. But your other radio host, Steve Rummage, broke the rules and couldn't wait till the end of the game to call me like he's supposed to do. He had to talk about how bad he was at David Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, yeah, no, because me and you are a little bit opposite today, because I'm like, I'm really aggravated with what I saw.
Dana, thanks for joining us on Middays with Marcus Maven. Fire away.
Steven, Marcus, how's it going, guys?
What's going on?
Could be better.
First and foremost, let me go ahead and apologize on the behalf of all males named Dana across the country to you guys, because I don't know who the first Dana was. I don't know if it was the Sith Lord Dana. I don't know what was going on with that dude. Sounded a little ridiculous.
Debbie Downer Dana.
Yeah, but let me assure you, I'm not on that. I just want to say, let's not do the whole sky's falling thing. There's been some championship teams that have gone into, tournament play and have had it rough, and then they come out on top in the end. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I got. Just want to give you guys an apology. That was not me. I don't know what happened on that one.
No, listen, I appreciate the call. And here's the thing. Dana does make some good points sometimes. But in that one, that was just a venting, I'm mad, Steve Rummage kind of moody. Boy, he sounded just like you last night.
Probably sound like me today.
Johnny, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Hey guys, good afternoon, man. I mean, I'm not pleased at all. I mean, I don't care what anybody says right now, man. I know Louisville basketball. You can say don't hit the panic button, the sky's not falling, whatever. I mean, I don't think the sky's falling. I'm at work right now, doing what I do every day. But look, man, it's late February. I'm not mad at Louisville for going down and losing to a great Florida State team. I'm mad at Louisville for getting their butts punked out on national television. Look, guys, just a couple months ago, we were talking about Final Four. I mean, heck, Steve might have been talking about it last week. I don't know. But it's okay for you to have expectations for your team and then go out there and play in a Sweet 16, Elite 8, maybe even a Final Four type of game and just get straight punked, man.
So what do you mean?
Describe,
what do you mean? Like, when you say the word punked, like, I'm sure a player or two comes to mind. Like, which ones come to mind?
Well, it was like this, man. When I watched them in the first half, I know you didn't get to watch the game live, man. But, Steve, I know you did. They came out with a chip on their shoulder, man. They were looking for revenge. You could see them. You could see them playing tough, man. Like, y'all ain't taking this. We owe this to y'all. And then after halftime, man, Florida State turned it up a little bit, and you just kind of seen them look shell-shocked. And they looked like they looked like they just got punched in the mouth, which they did. But there was just no response, man. It never came. I mean, they went on a 23 run, and by the end of the second half, I think it was 50-23. And that is not great basketball. That's not the team that we thought we had. And, I mean, Florida State is a great team, man, but nobody's going to offer you that, and it's not us going down there and losing. But it's the manner in which we did it, man. You got everything to play for. ACC regular season. You
still got to give me some plays. You got to give me some plays so I can give some perspective on what getting pumped.
I think getting drove all the way back to half court. I mean, I don't even know if it was just a single play or a couple plays, maybe. I mean, we couldn't get close to the 3-point line for the second half. We was pushed out, drove all the way back to half court. You know what I mean? I mean, defensively, we couldn't gain position. That's why, everybody could be mad at the referees, but we couldn't get position defensively. I mean, by the time we stepped in front of the man, we got fouled. We fouled them. I mean, we did. You can say they did get some calls, man, but, we couldn't get in position to stay in front of them, man. And I think they did get tired. But, bro, it's the end of February. We're getting ready to start March, people. This isn't a December game.
Johnny, I appreciate the call. The reason I asked for particular plays is because some play, like when you describe getting punked, we all know that, we all know what that looks like. And again, if you say Fresh Kimball gets to the paint, right? He spins around, Ryan's open right at a split second. Fresh doesn't give it to him. He waits a couple seconds, tries to get in the Enoch. It gets stolen. Mm-hmm. Big-time athlete dunks it. That looks bad. It feels real bad when you're watching it. Like, God, my team sucks. He's wide open, right? It's a big-time athlete that did that, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. The next play, Jordan. The Jordan play. I'm just calling it the Jordan play.
Okay.
The Jordan play, that's a bad feeling to your audience, to your, it's a bad, and that place is rocking. It's a bad feeling. That last play that he goes right around Fresh is what Coach Mack acknowledged. Yeah, we hit the wall. They're not used to running this rotation with Kimball running a whole game of point, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we can talk fair criticism. Well, Coach, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? We should have been playing more depth the whole time. You know, Fresh should be in better shape than that. And that's when people start saying, well, Rick's guys never had a conditioning problem. You know, like those things are gonna happen, and those are natural statements, right? And those are the ones I can deal with. You know, we can talk about it. We can talk about the differences, why I'm so mad, why I'm not so mad. But let me keep going along. We got Dan on line 2. Dan, thanks for joining us on 939. Fire away.
Hey, I got a few points. I'll make them real quick. So, the end of the half, we're up by 11. Fresh drives, gets by his guy, misses a wide-open layup. Sam misses the putback, which was pretty easy. I know you would dunk it, Marcus.
Nah.
And then they go down to the other end and hit a 3, and we're only up 8 at the half instead of 13 or 11 or 10. You know, that was a big difference. And then in the second half, I mean, we just crumbled. You know, I think the refs had a little bit of part of it. I hate that crew. I hate every one of them. I can name them, and that's not good when you can name a ref. The play where McMahon got shoved, and then he tried to get a hand in the guy's face, and he gets called for a foul, and he didn't even touch the guy. Those anticipation and one calls are just the worst in basketball. The thing that irritates me the most about MAC teams is it seems like we don't have a comeback ability. We don't have any kind of press. Our press is actually very detrimental to us because we get burnt and then they just get layups and dunks. So I don't understand where we're coming from with our comeback ability, why we don't have any kind of comeback ability. And then the last thing I'll say is Fresh and Darius need to have a dribble clock in their head, much to the same that quarterbacks have a clock in their head. They have got to stop dribbling for 10 or 15 seconds in a row and realize they're not going to do anything. Give the ball away.
See, now that part, again, fair criticism. They, point guards that lack the ability to get around their guy, are detrimental in late season. When people say your point guard play is what's going to get you, past the next round or this far, that's what they're referring to.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are, like I said, I'm not saying they don't have the ability. I'm saying they don't have the mentality to attack, to put a defense on their heels. Is that one of the things you were especially frustrated with?
I mean, I could start a list. I could do the rest of the hour with what I was frustrated with last night.
Matt, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
What's up, fellas?
What's up, man?
Oh, dude. Marcus, did you have to upload that video earlier? I mean, did you have to?
100%.
Because, I get why you did it, though. I really did. We played, it was 8-4 when Malik went out. And, you could see it was a get-back game for him personally, and that's probably why he was so hurt over the fact that he just rolled his ankle, and figured he couldn't go. But, man, we played, even without him, we still went on a run. I mean, everybody was, Ryan was hitting a shot, nice screen by Sam to free him up to hit that shot, actually, But then, we played 26 solid minutes, and then Florida State went on their refs. I'm sorry, their run. They went on their little run, and there really wasn't nothing we could do. I mean, the video you posted showed everything. It showed you everything you needed to know. I just don't want a reoccurring trend. And please, people stop.
Wait a minute. Wait 1 second. Let me make this clear. I don't think we lost because of the refs. I'm just pointing out. This is how you get a team on their heels. A team is up 11, up 12. You put David Johnson on the bench with 14 minutes to go with 4 fouls or something like that.
Yeah, he was in foul trouble.
You put Ryan McMahon in a position to be isolated on defense every single time.
Every time.
So
they did that in the first game.
Yeah, that puts you on your heels. Like in the aggression department, so and you get the foul on Stephen Enoch that I don't know what it was.
Start playing faster. Stephen was gassed too, though, man. I mean, this could have been the worst thing to happen, dude. I mean, Malik got injured. Aiden's still hurt. You know, we really don't have a third person to throw in there. I mean, I guess you could have put Quinn in there, but then what good would that done? You know, I mean, it was just like, I don't want to limp down the stretch again like we did last year with the 7 out of 9. It just feels like kind of that again, dude. I mean, I don't want that to happen because then comes the criticism of Mac, you know. And look, stop comparing Rick and Coach Mac.
No, you can't do that. don't even ask the fans to do that.
No, I'm saying, though, you see what's going on. They don't even coach even close to the same way.
No,
you know, they don't. And Rick built his thing with the press and the run and all of that and in shape and everything else. Mac is more of a weight room, stand your ground type dude, you know. So, and even in the latter years that we had Patino, he wasn't pressing all the time. It was a matchup zone. You know, I mean, come on now, people, get it together.
No, listen, Matt.
The sky is not falling,
Matt,
man.
I appreciate the call. It's you asking them not to compare the 20, 30, 40 years of Louisville experience, you know, because like I said, that's impossible. Like, that's a waste of time. And comparisons are the lifeblood of sports radio. Would you agree, Steve?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Bobby, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
My friend. So, first of all, Marcus, I got to give you all the props in the world for not watching the game live, because I watched the game live, but then I have to rewatch it afterwards.
Right.
Because, man, you watch it the first time and you're full of emotion, and it's like you're a fan, and you can't judge a damn thing. Like, you're up there screaming about the ref.
Right.
You're up there, you know, all in everybody's faces and everything, but you watch it the second time, and you know the result, and you're like, okay, like, let's dissect what this play is about. Let's dissect why this is or isn't a good call, why this is, you know, the way it is, why the pace of the game changed so much. And so after that second viewing, I came back, and I didn't realize I'm not a Twitter fan. I stick to Facebook, and really I try to stay off that, too, because social media is kind of poison to some degree.
Right.
You know, I did see I'm watching your video now, but it's like, when you change the way that you call a game so drastically between the first and the second half, I was thinking in my head, I was like, I would be so frustrated, especially Ryan McMahon. You know, I don't have the discipline to not go up and elbow the ref in the chest and be like, this is what he's doing to me.
Right.
You know, so I'm glad Ryan did, but
listen, I'm glad you got the point of that video. The point is not to blame the refs. The point is to show how the mood of the player can change. And here's the thing: if I'm a coach, I'm not showing Ryan that video. Like, I'm as an outside perspective, a fan perspective, and a player perspective. You can see how the mood and the attitude and the fight kind of changes, because you're just trying to he's just trying to figure out what he can and can't do.
And you know what it reminded me of was watching us play Virginia the last couple years, because Virginia gets away with the most holds off of screens and the most little, you know, stick your hip out into somebody off the bottom screen underneath the basket, because that's exactly what they were doing. They were getting away with illegal screening and holding and grabbing. And, like, don't get me wrong, like, if you're going to call the game that way, that's fine. I mean, we played in the Big East. We know how to play, well, to some degree. You know, now nobody on this team played in the Big East, but, you know, the fans remember when we played in the Big East. I feel like we could play that way, but I just need that consistency from first half to second half.
Right,
you can't call the game completely differently. Then secondly, I will say that I'm a little bit perturbed with, and I wanted to kind of see what you had to say about this. I did join a little bit late, so I didn't get to catch all your feelings on the game. I didn't see a whole lot of offense there in the second half. Now, maybe, and I trust your basketball knowledge, maybe you can point to me, the defense is just that good, and we cannot run our offense when our defense is that good. But I just kind of wanted to see what your opinion was on that.
Absolutely. I appreciate the call. Here's the thing. As far as the point with Ryan McMahon, I agree with everybody who's going to say Ryan has to get tougher on defense. You can't let the guy get in the position to get that, you know, shot near the basket. So I'm gonna say, in practice, again, I was making the joke with Steve earlier this morning. I've made this reference dozens of times. Larry Hughes punches Nate right between his legs, goes and scores a basket. And we got in the film room, and we were all waiting for the coach to see it live, because we all saw it in the game. And coach said, "Bleep that." He went and did what he had to do to get a point. And until y'all figure out that you want it bad enough, you know what I'm saying, you're going to keep losing. you're losers, right?
Yeah, right.
And as a coach, I understand. Ryan, you're getting exposed. I don't care. Like, where do you think you can play when somebody can get away with doing that to you? You either going to have to learn how to get the call, either bark at the ref or don't bark at the ref, or flop harder or don't flop at all. But either way, they're giving it to you. That's the coaching way. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But there's, like I said, there's two sides to look at every situation. You jump in here a little bit because, like I said, you're biting your tongue, and I'm feeling sorry for you. Because, like I said, listen. I also am going to share your emotional side of it, but it's my job to give perspective on outside of emotion.
Right.
I'm listening.
Yeah, and it is all good. I mean, because I agree with a lot of the stuff you say. For me, it's late February, so everything I'm doing now, I'm looking like you can say, yeah, Florida State's a really good team. I agree with that.
They're a really good team.
They're really good team.
Right.
Okay, I agree with that. But everything I'm judging right now is, can I make a Final Four? And to make a Final Four, I'm going to have to beat one, maybe two.
Reset that, because this is so important that when you say my emotions are Final Four emotions, that means I'm not being fair. Right. Final Fours are so hard to accomplish. They're the best four out of the 355 teams.
Absolutely.
Now, to be a top 4 team is my only is my only goal.
That's what I want to see. Can this team not do that? Yeah, that's what
can they do it now? What do they need to be able to do it? You know, are they blowing the opportunities? Go
now. Where do I start? If I never see Darius Perry on a basketball court again, it's not soon enough. I'll start out with that. Why in God's name that kid can get that many freaking minutes in the second half? And what the hell did Sam Williamson do in the first half that was so bad that he couldn't get back on the court in the second half?
Sam looked like he looked like he was there to play some
Why
basketball.
could he not get back on the court? But I've got to watch Fresh Kimball and Darius Perry run side by side
don't play well together.
And dribble in circles until one of them takes a shot. And I watch a 12-point lead go to a 6-point. Now I'm down 6. If Steve Enoch can't give me no more than that, then when Malik's healthy, don't be mad when you don't get in the game. Period.
It give you more as far as rebounds or
everything.
Points.
Like everything.
I mean, you realize he actually scored the 3 times he touched the ball in the paint.
That's fair enough.
Offensively.
Then demand it more. Start embarrassing guards.
Right, so you're going coach. Yeah, you're going coach style. Like, I'm sick of trying to tell you how to get the ball from your guards. Yeah. I'm not going to yell at these guards all day. I'm not going to yell at you about getting position all day. So I do understand.
I'm the biggest Steve fan out there, man. I love what Steve Enoch brings to the table, but
or can bring to the table.
Yeah, right. But I can't continue to get on here every day and go, well, they won't give it to him. Well, they won't give it to him. Well, at some point, grab one of them by their jersey and pick them up off the ground and say, dude, if you don't give me the ball, I'm gonna fight you right here on TV. Like, at some point, you've got to embarrass somebody,
right?
I mean, seriously.
But and naturally, that's going to make you fight for better position.
Yes,
because now
I've put myself out there,
and now you challenge me as a guard. I'm going to sit in the film room and say, you can beat me up all you want, but I'm not throwing you that ball.
Right?
If you let somebody take the ball again,
100%. So I'm tired of hearing he don't get the ball enough. I'm not doing that game anymore. Make them give you the ball. That's fine. Like I said, the Sam thing bothered me. The lack of we can do anything on offense bothers me.
Oh, shot discipline.
Yeah, it bothers me.
Shot discipline, okay.
It feels like, because here's the thing. We got good looks in the second half yesterday. Would you agree with that?
We got some good looks.
So I don't want to take a team second week into the tournament where I say, well, if they're hitting a bunch of threes, they'll be fine.
Listen, they got thrown off their rhythm, their shooting rhythm, by traveling the same day. Thanks, Tick Rogers.
I don't disagree with that. I I definitely think that could be a conversation. And look,
you didn't get your warm up.
100. No, I think he's 100% right on that. We said that as much yesterday. I said I don't really care that much for this leaving this morning thing and getting down there. I don't really like that, but. And still, there's the huge caveat out there that Malik Williams went down 3 plays into the game.
Right.
Fine with that.
But we went into the season knowing that if one of our big men went down, we would have a regular starting center. So I don't even give that much of a Malik pass.
And we looked probably the best we looked all night when Sam was in at the 5. And maybe somebody was playing that position, but I thought Sam was guarding Gray, so I'm going to assume he was the 5.
Right, it was the small lineup.
Yeah, so, I mean, we extended leads with that on the court. Ryan, actually.
Sam was attacking the basket.
Listen, Ryan, I thought he did pretty good. Thought he played pretty well.
He handled the ball well.
He comes down, he misses a 3. Open look. That's fine. Comes down the next play. Misses a 3. Open look. That's fine. Get him out the freaking game. In a game against Florida State, you're in here to make 3-pointers. Mm-hmm. That's what you're in here to do. And he was trying, but I'm not. This is the University of Louisville.
Yeah, you're not trying.
I'm not watching guards and going, well, he's trying because he missed the second 3, goes down, gives up a bucket. Like, it's like, okay.
And one.
Yeah, right. It wasn't and one. If you're in here, if you're knocking down shots, cool. But you come down, you had 2 wide open looks. All right,
and he started.
Yeah. And I'm not saying don't put him back in the game. Mm-hmm. I'm saying you missed 2 open 3s. Cool. Come sit down for a while. Like
and Sam looked like he was ready to play.
Right. And how many minutes did Sam even play in the second half?
That's a Brian Hall conversation.
Yeah,
Boy,
right.
Grading's going to be fun today.
Right. I know. And what I watched last night is much credit as I give to Florida State, because I think Florida State may really be a Final Four team this year.
They look awesome.
Like they are legit.
They look good. They got some big man.
And actually, one of the things that hurt your soul so bad is you watched them last night and you were like, I don't think I'm as good as them. Mm-hmm. Even on my best day, I don't know if I'm as good as him. Like, even though I think we are, because I think if you add Malik and we're knocking down shots, like, sure, we can beat Florida State. But there were moments where you're like, we were up 11, and you were like, this is not going to last.
Yeah, their consistency and depth, looked great.
And my point is, man, when we come down on offense, and the offense at times was just. And you can blame, I don't care who you want to blame. If you want to blame Fresh for dribbling around for 30 seconds, blame Fresh. If you want to blame the other 4 for standing there and watching Fresh dribble around for 30 seconds, blame them. If you want to blame Coach Mack for the fact that it doesn't really look like we have much of an offense, I'm fine with that.
Here, speaking of, Brian Hall, I sent you a text message with some sound.
Yeah, let me look at it.
Have you already put it into sound form? Here's the thing. To what you're saying. There was one awkward, kind of uncomfortable thing. Did you give me a thumbs up on that one? Do you remember, or did you watch the halftime interview with Leonard Hamilton?
Yes. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, where he basically said,
Hold on. Yeah, don't even. I'm going to give Brian a chance to get that.
Do you have a link for it? Because I can't get it off my phone. Let me see if I can share it with myself. Hold on.
Okay. Let me get to the phone lines.
Yeah, no, because it was terrible. It was terrible.
Todd, thanks for joining us on 939. Fire away. Todd, you there? Going once, going twice. Todd's out of here. Chris, thanks for joining us on 939. What's on your mind?
Hey, Marcus, how you doing?
Good.
I'm just going to make 3 quick points, and then I'm going to let y'all run with this. You know, this team didn't win a game in the first round last year, the NCAA, and I made a big bet, and I won it against my brother. I turned around and I watched this team. Mac added some pieces to it, but we're not there yet. Florida State is a better team than us. Athlete for athlete, they are a better team. We just don't want to meet them in the NCAA. We want to be on the other side of them. We might make it out the second round.
Okay, point 2.
Point 2. Point 3 is this is all setting us up for next year for the recruits coming in. Y'all have a nice day.
I appreciate the call, no matter how much I disagree. This is not a next year conversation. This is not a next year setup conversation at all. You don't say things like that when you have a Dwayne Sutton, a Stephen Enoch, a Ryan, and a leaving Jordan. A veteran heavy team like this. You don't even say that. Chip, thanks for joining us on Middays with Marcus Maven. Fire away.
Man, good morning, Mr. Maven. First of all, I'd like to say that I'm a Card fan for life. I know everybody's frustrated, but I just want to talk about a few things. I just really feel like
Clip's ready.
Basketball IQ is not there, especially with the veterans that we have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we should be doing way more than what we're doing. I just think the IQ and the aggression. It's like we have no aggression on the floor. Now, I feel for Malik. I love the energy that he brings.
Right.
And to me, when last night, he brought an energy that was infectious. It was contagious. And everybody bought into that energy. And then as soon as he goes down, it kind of like shifted just a little bit in that second half. But my thing was the basketball IQ, the dribbling around, was like watching a dog chasing his tail almost. And I'm not going to bash Mac like I thought I was going to do, and I prayed about it before I called in. But I just want to know one thing from you. This is really why I called in.
I'm listening.
We go into the second half. I think it's about maybe 7 minutes when Florida State goes on that run, and Florida State is a dang good team. But you have no timeouts to call. So I want you to address that, how he uses his timeouts, because to me he doesn't use those timeouts effectively throughout the game.
Here's the thing. I appreciate the call. They cut it to 6. Fresh Kimball hits a 3. You call timeout. The reason you call that timeout is because at 6 points, you were in a danger zone. At 9 points, you've gotten the crowd to be quiet. Now I can talk to my team and give them some of my last, the guys, this is how the rest of the second half is going to play out.
Right.
They're going to attack you on every play. I'm going to need you to, stand strong on defense. I need you to stand up, the only way you can get a conversation with your team are those kind of timeouts.
Yeah.
But when you, like I said, as a fan, you thought that the dam was going to crack. As a coach, he might have thought the dam was going to crack. He's saying, Jordan, take your time. Jordan doesn't take his time on those wide looks. He's trying to get these timeouts before you hit the last 10 minutes, right? Because he knows this is not going to come down to me needing to call a timeout with 3 minutes. Either my team I'm going to stop this leak right now in the first 10 minutes of the second half.
Yeah.
The mental leak, you know what I'm saying? The how they're playing, or I'm not. That's what you saw it as a fan. He saw it as a coach. So you criticizing the coach on something you saw with your own 2 eyes. Steve, you talked about it. You were just looking at the gambling numbers change. I mean, just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what you saw.
Yeah.
That's why you get those timeouts there.
Yeah, I don't disagree with what he did there because, I mean, you were watching that thing and Louisville was Louisville was up 6 and you were like, this is bad. I mean, this is bad.
Right.
Jeremy was over, my buddy Jeremy's over watching the game. I looked at him, I said, we're going to lose by 15, 20. We were up 6 and said, we're getting blown out. Like, this is bad. And it was one of them things where you don't have to be like, it wasn't like everybody could call it today and go, I knew it. I called it at the 15-minute mark. I guarantee you did. Right. Everybody watching did. Everyone's like, this is terrible. I mean, and Coach Mack saw it too.
He called those timeouts, and he did not get the response. Now here's the thing: nobody's dodging the criticism. I just like real criticism. I like real criticism on the coaches. I like real criticism on the players. I like the back and forth between the caller or somebody says Jordan's shot selection, right? Yeah. Then I'm going to tell you the freedom. Every college player will tell you to your face right now, if my coach would have gave me the freedom that Jordan had, I'd be in the league. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
But there has to be a trust between the player and the coach that they're going to make the right decisions.
Yeah.
Coach gambles on Jordan that he's going to hit that shot. when Jordan goes down there and goes 1-on-3 and does a spin move, right?
Yeah.
I can say, well, you should have been benching him all year.
Yeah.
But if you're benching him all year, Jordan is not Jordan the other 80% of the time he is, right?
Yeah.
But I can look at this game and say, Coach, you should have put the handcuffs on him a long time ago, right? Or I can say, Jordan, you let down your coach when you did a 1-on-3 spin move when there was obviously nothing there, and your ball handling has not been the best. This is the trust that the coach is putting on you to make a better decision. It's at the 15-minute mark when you get that basketball. Fresh Kimball gets it up the court. He lobs it to the inside. You get the ball about mid-range, 15-footer, right?
Yeah.
Back to the basket.
Yep.
Instead of attacking the basket, Jordan takes a back dribble, gets to the corner, and he gets his three-pointer blocked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I know exactly the play.
And see, there's two sides of that.
Yeah.
That's another one. Jordan, we went through it last game. When you were struggling, what did you do? You went and got some rebounds and some inside buckets.
Yeah.
You're struggling this time. You're not hitting your shots, and you still chose to keep on backing up and keep shooting a three-pointer. Now, we've talked about this, and this is the coach talking. Jordan, we've talked about this. You know what I'm saying? You're leaving 60% of your skill set on the bench over here.
Yeah.
And you're just relying on your shooting.
But yeah, I know.
You're letting yourself down, Jordan. You know what I'm saying? You're costing yourself, not money, but just success.
I know. And I mean, I'm asking you now, and I know we got a lot of phone lines and we got a break and everything, but I mean, I would like to hear. I mean, I know I was ranting, but I mean, I would like to hear your explanation. What in the world did Sam Williamson do so wrong in the first half? Did it not look like he was there to play?
I thought he was.
I mean, did it not look like he was finding his way around the basket? He was getting the basketballs that were coming off. Like, I mean, I thought his defense was pretty good. Like, I was like, and then I just watch him set. And I watched Darius in the game, and I watched Ryan in the game, and I'm like,
I mean, again, here's the thing. In your brain, you see that big lead, right?
Yeah.
But you don't remember most of all that second half. It was, you were in the lead or it was close. I mean, you saw it evaporating, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Ryan got 4 good looks.
No, he did.
And you expected the next 3 for him to hit.
Oh, sure.
So if I'm leaving Ryan out here, this is my coach explanation on this one. I got a quicker chance of pulling away with Ryan than I do Sam.
Yeah.
Sam is like the guy who can grind, maybe a little different.
But
you made a bad call.
Until I was going to say until you didn't.
No, listen. I'm sure he would say, but again,
but
his DNA this year has been go with the Singers.
Well,
welcome to Louisville.
Welcome to Louisville.
No, 100%.
Don't make a bad call in 3 weeks. I'm not kidding. Or you think this is bad? Go lose in the second round.
Thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
Hey, Marcus, Steve, how you guys doing?
Good, man.
Could it be better?
Yeah.
Hey, Marcus, reach over and give Steve a hug, man. He needs one.
Jeez,
he does.
Man, badly today,
hey,
man.
Steve, I think the thing with Sam, I think it's an assistant coach's problem. He didn't look over and tell Mike, hey, we still got Sam over here. We got Sam over here. You want Sam? Every once in a while, assistant coach needs to do that.
I don't know that to be true, but I will listen. I would listen to that if that was true. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong.
Your best story is Coach Pitino's son.
Yeah, in the Elite Eight game. Yeah. I would listen. I won't accuse them of that because I don't know that for sure. But if that's the case, I'd listen to that for sure.
And then another thing, everybody keeps saying we got punked, we got bullied. We got really, really good looks at the basket, looks that we would take every day of the week. We just missed a couple of them.
No, listen, Chris, I appreciate the call. That's a part of the game.
Yeah.
Like I said, don't try to simplify a complicated, a complicated puzzle of things that went right and things that went wrong and emotion and trust. And like, there's a lot of different layers to what happened.
Yeah, but it scares you because it says you can only win basketball games one way.
Right. Brian Hall. People are wanting to hear that. Now, here's the thing. I'll reset this up. Coach Leonard Hamilton is a good coach. If I were to see anything that gave me that you know what, we should play it. We should go ahead and play it. Go ahead.
with Leonard Hamilton.
Leonard, what was the biggest thing you tried to adjust with your team at the half?
Gosh, I just think we just didn't play. We didn't play smart. We had plenty of opportunity to throw the ball inside. We didn't take advantage of their foul trouble and the lack of size inside. And I thought we had a lot of indecision. They kind of outplayed us, outcoached us, and out-hustled us in the first half. They didn't run very much offense. They just dribbled and dribbled and dribbled until they found the open man, and we didn't contain the dribble. That's a bad combination.
Okay, thanks, Leonard.
But I'll say this. Yes, they dribble, right? But yes, they found open men a lot. Mm-hmm. And you missed a lot. And when you say open man and guys running out at you, like Steve, if I tell you and I teach you and we coach and we practice and I saw you last game, when they ran out at you, you went around 2 dribble pull up. You went to the basket last game. And this game you don't do it.
Yeah, no, and I agree. I here's the thing, and this is where I know caller said it earlier, and it's impossible. We're just used to a brand of basketball that it's like, man, we can't score today. But man, we hold them to 42. You know what I mean? It's starting to feel like we can't win any other way. Mm-hmm. We got open looks. Those shots go down, you win. Today we're all in here and we're like, bang.
We got stuff at the basket we didn't hit.
Yeah. I'm not knocking that.
Dwayne tip-ins missed a couple. I think Sam maybe missed 1 or 2. I saw David probably 1.
He missed 1.
On the left side.
Yeah. But it doesn't feel like you can win any other way, and I don't like putting all my eggs in. Well, if we hit shots, we can win games.
Big programs don't do that. Reggie, thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
Hello, what's up, fellas, man? Tough game last night. I seen your video, Marcus. I like it. I just got 3 points. I want to hit, and I'm going to go ahead and get off and listen. Jay Billis last night said on TV that the ref told Ryan McMahon, you're not going to get that call unless you saw it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what? Like, I mean, like, that right there, just, I was like, what's going on right there? So then, the one where Enoch, where the guy came in and you put it on your video, if Enoch didn't even jump to try to attempt to block the shot, that's what I had a problem with. Malik just going to try to bust that. At least try to, I wouldn't even be mad if he got a foul right there, but he just stood there himself, like he didn't know if he wanted to take a turn, like jump and block the ball.
Right.
And again, like you said, with the dribbling and why Sam didn't play, the only thing I have a problem with Matt is that he didn't get a tech. Because I know if I was out there last night, I would have got a tech and got thrown out of the game. So have a good day, sir.
No, listen, I appreciate the call. We can say fall. Guy scores. Ryan, you need to be tougher.
Yeah.
Like I said, your solution was a quicker trigger. Mm. Coach has the issue of trust to deal with.
Yeah. So. And it really is not a crazy shot at Ryan. I mean, Ryan, it's just a tough matchup for him. And I mean, like I said, I mean, he was doing some good things, but I'm like, when you miss 2 wide open in a row, I'm like, look, here, sit down for 5 minutes. Sam, get in the game. We'll see if we can get something going.
Take the last call.
Get back in.
Okay, let me take this last call. Todd, thanks for joining us on 939. Fire away.
How's it going, guys? Let me ask you, what was Florida State doing from the very beginning of the game?
I don't know. Get into the
press.
Oh.
Putting pressure on the Cardinals the whole time, the whole entire game. They every time we tried to go in, they tried to trap in the corner. And throughout the game, if you look, I mean, the guys started getting tired. The cardio wasn't the same. Plus, they were bringing in guys, Florida State was, off the bench at 6'4", 6'5", taller men that can come in there, and they're playing with that style. We did not have our captain in the low post. We only had one true low post player, and that was Steven. We didn't have Malik. He was on the bench and after a while, when that pressure keeps going, remember how it was with Coach Pitino. When he puts that pressure on you, you're not playing for the first half. You're playing for the second half. And what they did was they kept putting the pressure on. That's when you get the fatigue. That's when your legs aren't under you on the shots. That's when your, emotional level, when your concentration and all like that is affected. We are not going to play another team the next 2 games like what we played against Florida State. We may have to play.
So you're
a
saying
team like
you're saying this is more about Florida State than it was about Louisville last night.
Well, think about it, Marcus. When you play, if somebody puts pressure on you the whole game, how are you going to be by the second half?
I'm gonna have 40. What do you mean?
Well, I'm just saying, we are a pack line team now. We're not set up the same way it was in Patino's time, with running up and down the floor and all like that, putting pressure on teams the whole game. When you go against a team, especially in that environment, what they had there at Florida State, you go in there and they consistently putting pressure on you. You're not throwing over it. And by the second half, we were leading, about 15 points at one time. We were number 1 in the ACC going into that game. So, it's not like we're a terrible team. But the thing about it is, when they do that to you the whole time, plus you've got 2 low post players with Malik and Aiden that can't come in for Steven, and but one of them being the captain that directs the team, you're in a hole when it gets to that point where the pressure takes effect, and that's exactly what Florida State did. Me and my son were watching the game, said, "Man, this is Patino's team, and with bigger guards."
Forester Distilling Company, located on Whiskey Row at 119 West Main Street. Follow the path of the first bottled bourbon from grain to distillation to barreling, aging, and bottling. Following your tour, stop in George's Bar for a cocktail or flight of America's first bottled bourbon. Book your tour online today at oldforester.com. That's oldforester.com.
Are you ready to sell your home? Well, there couldn't be a better time. Houses are going for top dollar and selling quickly. You need to call Jill Blessinger with Keller Williams. She has a team of professionals that will help you sell your home quickly and get the most for it. She is a professional home stager and photographer. And when you are ready to buy, she works with Becky Bleemel of Caliber Home Loans. She makes the loan process very simple. And if you mention you heard this on Middays with Marcus Maven or ESPN, your appraisal is absolutely free. So give Jill a call today at 502-773-0546. That's 502-773-0546. And let her help you today.
If you hear basketballs bouncing, that must mean the weather's getting colder, which also means you're getting ready to find out if your heating system is ready for the season ahead or headed to the bench. Right now from DFH, get 18-month special financing on a qualifying Train system. It's hard to stop a Train, and it's hard to not call DFH Company today at 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Visit dfhcompany.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions, subject to credit approval.
If you've been thinking about getting engaged or selecting the perfect wedding band, Join us this Saturday, February 29th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
It's Davis Jewelers' Leap into March bridal event.
Come shop all the newest styles from our top engagement ring designers, including Sylvie, Martin Flyer, JB Starr, and award-winning designer Noam Carver.
Plus, wedding bands for the bride and groom from Benchmark, Blue Royale, Carlux, and Lashbrook.
Come talk directly with our wedding band and bridal designers' official representatives. They'll be here in person.
We'll have special one-day prices on all our loose diamonds.
Save an incredible 20% off all engagement ring settings, wedding bands, and nearly every completed engagement rings, including the ever-popular stackable diamond bands.
Save hundreds, even thousands. We'll also have special interest-free financing for qualified buyers.
It's Davis Jewelers' Leap into March bridal event this Saturday, February 29th from 10 until 6 at Davis Jewelers.
Davis Jewelers. We're at Forest Green Boulevard, just off North Hirschborn Parkway, and at davisjewelers.com.
Every time you show up, every time you make your presence heard, whether you're here for the memories that last a lifetime or the dance that happens just once a year, whether you ride for the Cinderella or go all in for the legendary comeback, however you choose to be a fan during March Madness, you make the game.
The road to the Final Four goes through Indianapolis, the NCAA Men's Basketball Midwest Regional, March 26 and 28 at Lucas Oil Stadium. Visit ncaa.com/MBB tickets to get your seats today.
Hey, this is Steve Rummage, and I have one question for you. What good is having that beautiful home with that beautiful view if you can't see through the grit and grime of your windows? Or every time you try to open them, it feels like an extensive workout. Let's face it, you and your home deserve better. That's why I'm here to tell you about Windows Plus. They have the best free lifetime transferable warranty, best installation in town, quality products, doors, windows, siding, and gutters. They've also been voted most efficient in 2019 and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, including all 5-star reviews, which means they're exactly what you've been looking for. So go visit them at 11501 Plantside Drive in Louisville, Kentucky, or call 502-494-0120. Again, that's Windows Plus, so make the call.
Great job, Steve.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm former Louisville basketball player Luke Hancock. When the NCAA tried to take away the Most Outstanding Player Award from the 2013 tournament, I got it back, thanks to Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan is the personal injury firm that fights for the people, and their team treats clients like family. Morgan & Morgan changed my life, and if you've been injured in a car crash, at work, or in a slip and fall, they may be able to change yours. For a free consultation, dial #LAW on your cell phone. That's #529, offices Louisville.
An official broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville. Time now for an ESPN.
sound back rolling, and we're going to Green Bay. Denny, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Good morning, fellas. Well, listen, this team is making me get an ulcer. First of all, I felt like the 2 games we played before, we played outstanding, but it's fool's gold because those 2 teams are horrible. And so we play a good team, and I can't stand the pack line defense. I can't stand it when we get down by a bunch of points. We have no way of generating any kind of quick offense by pressing, getting on somebody, and turning up the ratchet of defense. I don't understand, and maybe you can answer this, Marcus, is why does it look like when Nora catches the ball, and I see it from McMahon and others, that it seems like when they shoot the ball, they're fading away all the time and not even at least trying to go follow their shot. Max Dunn got in Darius Perry's head. We saw what happened with that last year because he's put him on the bench. And for everybody getting on Perry, Perry played 7 minutes, and he had 1 turnover and 1 assist. Fresh played 26 minutes. He's a fifth-year senior, had 1 assist and 3 turnovers, and made some horrible. My gosh, I feel like we pound the ball over and over.
So you felt like we needed more of Perry?
No, we need more Samuels. If I want to go down, I'm going to go down fighting with my best 5. And I feel like he was doing great, and then he makes him disappear on the bench. He might as well be sitting over there with Hulk. I mean, it's crazy. It's a McDonald's All-American. I don't get it. And that posterized dunk on Nora, I appreciate Nora at least going up to Kentucky.
I agree. Listen, Green Bay, I'm glad you said that.
That's a good point, yeah.
Here's the thing. I was ready to trash somebody.
Same
here, going.
Well,
he was late.
Me and Phil were just talking in the back. We're like, to me, can you imagine if he started running and it just stopped, what this morning would be? I mean, it would be like, that kid has no heart in his body.
Right.
He went up.
Whenever you're criticizing.
Most of the time he blocks that shot.
Whenever you're criticizing, you make sure you say, listen, super divas don't go for that block.
Because he knew he was late.
Divas don't go for that block at all in that transition. So when I tell you, his quick shots are a growing trust between him and coach. His bad shots are growing trust, like you hate when it doesn't work out well.
Yeah.
But it's not for the wrong reasons. It's not
right.
I'm just selfish and I don't want to pass the ball to anybody else, or I just want my points.
Yeah.
Because point hunters don't go for that block.
No, I
Divas
agree.
and selfish people do not go for that block. Trust me.
And let me make a point about Darius Perry too, because I am harsh on Darius. Darius is the one for me where it's like, look, I don't even know that I necessarily fully blame you. You were recruited here to be a Rick Pitino Bulldog. Like
high pressure, high intensity, high activity.
He's the one
you're asking him to become a house pet in an all-white mansion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who is grown up in the in the prairie.
Yeah.
Running in the prairie.
Well, yeah, I see it. Yeah, so it's like
change his entire DNA.
Like I don't dislike Darius as a human being.
And then you put him with Christian Cunningham, who is the exact opposite. Mm-hmm. And Coach Mack loves Christian Cunningham. And now if I'm Darius Perry, I'm trying to get you to love me the way you love Christian Cunningham.
Yeah.
Which is the exact opposite of the way listen, that went from house prairie to house to you put me in the kennel when you're not here.
I know, man.
That's what Darius Perry is in a pack line.
Yeah.
And he's trying to become a lapdog. And it's hard, right?
Yeah.
It's just hard to do that. So, as frustrated as you are, start with he is a prairie dog, not a lapdog.
Right. No, I agree.
Courtney, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Yeah, I had 3 points to make. You said about Perry. You're exactly right about Perry. I mean, I was calling to give him. I just don't think he should play anymore either. I was like, man, he just gets in there and just seems like he's just either trying too hard or just doing too much, one of the two. But I got 2 other points to make. One is the offense. I mean, you know, when I saw Rick Pitino was just like, pick up top, do whatever, you know. And last night it looked like that. But when Matt came along, I was like, well, is that a flex cut? Are we doing flex now? I was like, okay, that's offense. Are we actually running offense? We got out-of-bounds plays. It just looked like we had, you know, it just looked like we need to go back to that. I don't know why we're not either.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. In my opinion, we added the flex cut to get them some motion. But the problem with that is you adding a flex cut like that, kind of that motion offense, or trying to go to it during the season. You should have, like, if you were going to run that offense like often, you would have spent your whole off season working on the fundamentals of setting your man up and cutting hard, you know, and realizing why you're cutting hard. So I think that he kind of got caught in between trying to run it and not really spending, you know, having to recoach all the fundamentals to all the players. It's just a tough thing to do, to try to mix in the middle of the season.
Did you see that? I mean, in your opinion, too, I mean, we didn't run any offense last night. It just seemed like we were dribbling around and doing a pick up top. And then their picks are they're not even really hitting their man. They're kind of just like so with it, you know. But my second point is, you know, they're so long. Florida State was so long, and they're pressuring out. You know, we're up by 6. You know, at that point, they're just pressuring. We should have got it down on Enoch. You know, I'm an Enoch fan. I think get it down to him, let him do a hook, and to get to work and, you know, take care of business. But we didn't do that. And I don't know if Enoch wasn't calling for the ball or kind of what Steve was saying. You know, maybe he wasn't saying get the ball to me. But that should have been something Matt should have said at timeout. Like, we got to get it down low. We got to get some fouls. We got to get this crowd under control, because the crowd was their 6th man. I mean, they were just it looked like it was just pumped in there. You know, and they just did not get it down low. That's all I got to say.
That's not. I appreciate the call. I mean,
it was jacked in there. I mean, even Leonard Hamilton went to Twitter afterwards, was like, "That's the loudest I've ever heard it in there."
You sent that to me.
Yeah, I mean,
the loudest he's ever heard it in there.
Right. I mean, it was packed. It was like. So here's the thing. That game goes the same way. Florida State comes back. They take a 5-point lead. Louisville cuts it back. They take a lead. It's a decent game, back and forth down the stretch. Florida State wins. Everybody comes in here today, and I swear to you, we're going, hey, listen, it's a tough loss. Because here's the thing. You want to exercise your Florida State demon? You're going to get your chance Friday night in the ACC tournament, because you're the 3 seed now. They're going to be the 2. Barring the Duke loss, which I don't think is going to happen from here on out. You're going to be the 3. They're going to be the 2. You're going to play them again. So if you are out there, if you're one that, and I do think we can beat Florida State. I really was aggravated last night. I tweeted something. I was like, we could play them 1,000 times and probably not beat them.
You tweeted that?
Yeah. But my point was,
you tweeted that?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like,
I'm gonna start taking you. You're gonna have to put a lock on your Twitter.
Listen. I was like, well, but here's the thing. I said, my point was, it's a tough match, and that's what I said on Twitter. I said we could play them 1,000 times and probably not win. It's a tough matchup, and then without Malik on top of it, it's a really tough matchup. So I do think we can beat them. But last night, that's a tough atmosphere, a tough team. There's no shame in losing to Florida State. There's shame in a 42-16 run in the final 13 minutes of the game. That's what you don't like. And shame may not be the right word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
I almost cleaned it up.
Yeah.
I do get the point.
Yeah.
Bob, thanks for joining us on 939. What's on your mind?
When I was watching the game, and Florida State scores, and so we're going to try and get the ball in bounds. So they got a guy they have a big tall guy, our man, trying to pass it in bounds.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they had 2 guards on a point guard. How many guys did they have down there pressing us? 3, 4?
Usually at least 3, yeah.
Yeah. So if they're going to gamble like that, and then we're going to beat that, and we come back, and then we just pull it out and try and start running an offense that we can, why would you not try to beat the press, set up something? beat the press and take the ball to the hole. Attack the press. Don't let them just press like crazy and gamble and not make them pay for it. I mean, get Sam Williamson in there, get him the ball, and you say, we're going to pass it through this press, and you're going to take it to the hole, and you're either going to score or you're going to get fouled.
Listen, Bob, I appreciate the call. Bob, you are totally preaching to the Denny Crum choir here. Like I've said it with every coach who's coached since Denny Crum here. I say you better not. If you're able to press a Louisville team, something's wrong. But I will say this. If you listen to the commentating the entire night, you know what Jay Billis said every time? Louisville is doing a tremendous job handling the pressure all night long. You had one bad play when Ryan McMahon tried to skip it to Fresh Kimball because he read him wrong getting up the court. Fresh was going to let Ryan bring it up the court. Ryan thought Fresh was was shooting up the sideline, threw that bad pass. Outside of that one, there wasn't bad turnover pressure, but it does. Listen, there wasn't any full court steals, but I do agree with everybody who says having that big guy just walk your point guard up the court, it's pressure.
Yeah.
Also, in the coach, assistant coach Marcus, who just got hired as an analyst on the Coach Mack staff, this is one during the meeting I say, Coach, you remember when I told you about letting David just casually bring the ball up the court every time? Our point guards who don't jog up the court to at least explore transition mistakes, we're costing ourselves big time.
Yeah.
We're not putting, analyst Marcus, assistant coach analyst Marcus says, Coach, you got to stop letting David canvas the entire time. Mm-hmm. You got to get it up the court and you got to get into the motion.
Yeah.
Also, listen, when David comes off these screens, he's looking to make the play. You're going to have to tell him he got to attack these screens tougher.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't just jog and prod and poke the entire time. Sometimes you just have to attack it and see who makes the mistake on the switch, because you're not forcing them into any mistakes.
And here's the thing. David wasn't terrible last night,
especially when you watch the replay.
Yeah, David is in game. Me talking to Marcus in game when I've rode so hard for David this year. I'm like, David, this is not going to work, man. But
when you replay and you see that Ryan McMahon, half court. Listen, that's a predictable pass that we do. That's an athletic team we're playing against. They put a tall guy who I know tipped that ball. Mm-hmm. So when you said it just went straight up in the air, he was kind of covered up, but I could tell by the trajectory and the speed that ball got tipped up.
Yeah, the issue there wasn't as much David as the issue there was we couldn't get the ball in bounds. Mm-hmm. Now that means
I'm gonna yell at everybody who's not breaking to the ball. Mm-hmm. Because and here's the thing. This is one that analyst Marcus says, Coach, we're letting too many defenses off the hook when we have an opportunity with the ball underneath the basket.
Yeah,
we don't run these cuts real hard. You know what I'm saying? That's another play. We got a chance for a set play underneath the basket. Here's an opportunity where we can steal a bucket or a foul.
But and to your point, I mean, David with the ball in his hand, I thought he was doing a pretty good job. I mean, considering he won't play a tougher defensive
Trent
matchup.
Forrest?
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Yeah.
Those big guards, he did an awesome job.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, you're teaching him how to play an entirely different style. You're teaching a guy with a 44-inch vertical not to block anything when guys are driving, to stay on the floor and stay out of foul trouble. That's an awkward thing. Like, think about if somebody told you, you have to play a full game, but never block any shots.
Yeah, and he had, the guy on the post, his fourth foul, I saw Texter bring that up too. He baited him into a travel and got a foul for his troubles. That was a great play. David pulled a chair a little bit, baited him into that double jump, and that's a travel.
Texter says run the baseline. We didn't lose the ball in the press. Like I said, Ryan's long pass. Mm-hmm. But what we did is, like the caller said, we didn't attack their press. We didn't attack. We let them dictate the exact pace of the game.
See, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy here, but I didn't mind. I know this is against all, But
tradition.
Florida State wasn't really trapping the corner all that much.
No.
So to me, I was like, I know
But that's why I say rewatch it.
Because
David was caught in the corner. He throws a pass out to Ryan McMahon perfectly.
Well, we brought it every time. I mean, guy would go to the corner, you catch it. They weren't trapping it really, and then we would have one. It was Ryan when he was in. Would cut straight up the middle, and you were kind of like this. So like, I don't really mind that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
You've got to pick your poison there, because either you're going to do one or two things. I'm going to get it in the middle of the court, and I'm going to throw it down the baseline. Then you can get trapped in the corner at half court. Or I'm just going to take it here with my 6'5" guy, eat it, in the corner, and he can make that pass.
This is my problem, Steve. And I drew this as the picture, so you could just know what I'm talking about. And I don't know how bad this is going to be on the radio, people, but it's only going to take like 15 seconds. Okay, Steve, you're in the ball in the bound. You got two guys at the free throw line. This is against the full court press, right?
Yep.
This is what I don't like. When you screen across for the other guy, right?
Yep.
You set this pick.
Yep.
And you turn and seal.
Sure.
We don't do that. We set the pick and we start floating.
I agree.
That's just poor.
That should be common sense because the
so you can come back to the ball and you know what I'm saying.
Hey, you're always open.
And he right. Mm-hmm. So if you're gonna put two guards out there, they have to execute fundamentally. Fundamentally sound will help you beat.
And this guy, the guy who got screened, will most likely. Will leave
right
in that scenario.
Right.
So then you get it back to your point guard. You're going down the court. I'm with you on that.
Right. Like small execution. We can clean up all the time. We can clean up that stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Some bad habits.
My problem was the pressure, even underneath the basket, where it was like, it feels like nobody's moving. You're just kind of like,
and when you're just moving, sealing your man and holding out.
And listen, you're moving. Right. You're moving, but you're not moving with purpose to get open. But exactly what you said. I seal a little bit, and I'm like, hey, here's my hand.
Right.
No, everybody out here is 6'8".
I'm not throwing that ball when I only see a foot of open space.
They were good. Yeah,
they were good.
They're good, man.
And they were good.
They're a heck of a team.
My goodness. Paul, thanks for joining us on 939. Fire away.
Hey, I'm not going to be redundant because I completely agree with a lot that's already been said here. But before I go into my point, do you know what the foul ratio was in the second half?
I absolutely do not.
Terrible. I know that.
Okay. Well, yes. So my thought on this was when they went on that 15-0 run, we did not respond to the way the fouls were being called like Florida State did. They kept driving to the basket. They were getting ticky-tack fouls and phantom fouls. But what we were doing when we were coming across court, when we finally beat the pressure, I was screaming at the TV, whoever had the ball coming up court, whether it was Perry or whoever, but I focused on Perry a lot because he's making me mad. And he's an ordinarily good player, but what they were doing was they were just dribbling the ball, letting the time run out, and then trying to make a play, and that wasn't going to do it. We needed to drive to the basket since the refs were calling, cheap fouls and get them in, get some easy shots. We also missed a lot of layups during that time period where they went on the run, but hopefully all that's correctable. I'm not going to jump off a bridge for this game because it was a 15-0 run. Other than that 15-0 run, if we had Malik, I know we don't, but if we had Malik and we had responded to the way the refs were calling the game, maybe we win the game. We were up 10 and we were down 5 on that 15-0 run. So
listen, I appreciate the call. I don't know how much of that I'll blame on the coach and how much I'll blame on the players, because I can guarantee the coach is saying you got to attack the basket. You got to attack the basket. And when when Fresh attacks the basket, Ryan, you come behind and fill in. It didn't work like that. You tried to get it inside, but your execution wasn't there where it needed to be. Again, Jordan got open looks. He got looks with guys running out at him. You got a lot of second half looks. D, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Man, why y'all always answer the call when I'm doing something? Hey, listen, I'm getting my oil check. You good? Ain't good? What do you want me to do? Back up? Hey, listen, guys, I'm with you, Steve. Steve, all right, hold on. Hey, look, y'all have a good one.
Cool guy Don, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing, man?
Good.
What's up, man?
Look, man, I'm going to be 100 with y'all right now. Right now. So, it was a rough time after the game.
Yeah, I heard you in the post game.
It was a rough time this morning. So, I was stuck in a rut. I'm thinking, dang, 3 out of 5 losses after the 10-game win streak. We get swept by Florida State. How can Marcus and Steve still play some win music before we go out of here today and pump everybody back up? And I said, okay, Malik's back. Win music. We got Javion Hawkins. We got the spring football started yesterday. We're going to beat Florida State in football this year. Let's win, man. We're going to do something. Let's take it over. Go Cards.
No, I appreciate the call. I did enjoy listening to Coach Satterfield's spring press conference. I will say that.
Yeah, I did too, yeah.
Your boy, wide receiver.
Braden Smith.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, I watched that video. Listen, I watched the video they put out yesterday, little story, and this was after I'm just so mad about the game. And I'm sitting there and I'm just fuming. I'm watching Monday Night Raw. I'm already like, I'm texting my wife. I'm like, babe, Atlanta is not even an option now, so we can go all in on Tampa,
right?
You know, like, and all this stuff. So I watched this video. I'm watching. I'm like, man, Fitzpatrick's, man, they look good, stuff like that. And then I see this route, and I'm like, who was that? And
you look down in the comments. You saying, who was it, Devontae Pete?
I'm like, 81. I'm like, who's 81? Because I was like, I think Money Spence, but he graduated. I'm like, who is 81? And I'm like, that's Braden Smith. I was like, and he was somebody I was real excited about when we got him. I was like, man, he was kind of a Tutu Atwell. He's always a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Went to JUCO,
yeah,
turned him receiver.
You type in his name, all you see is a quarterback.
And I'm like, oh man. I mean, and it was just, it was a beautiful
thing.
If
you haven't seen it, go to U of L football. Look at the hype video they released. Nasty wide receiver on the way. Before our grading session, last call, Brian. Thanks for joining us on 93.9. What's on your mind?
Hey, Marcus. People were talking about the press a minute ago, and I go back to the end of last year and the beginning of this year where if somebody pressed us, we fell apart. So, obviously, we fixed that. When I was watching the game last night, I was pretty frustrated because I wanted to get down and get into offense. It looked like we weren't moving. It's kind of stale, but it was taking us 9-10 seconds one time to get the ball across the court. But I looked back at it, and I was like, well, at least we're not falling apart and turning the ball over. A lot of pressure. It wasn't really tremendous pressure, not really trapping hard in the corner, but still, a lot of tough pressure there. And we didn't turn it over much, but we didn't get in the offense. And I thought, well, nobody's moving. But two things I want to ask you. I mean, you were a big-time ball player. So if you have ball screens and like your game last night, say you're Jordan, okay?
Uh-huh.
You got a guy 6'7", 220 guarding you, and you rub him off on a ball screen, and it doesn't matter who goes top, bottom, in or out. You got another 6'7", 220 pound guy in your face, because Florida State's just big across, all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty tough to run an offense against, I would think. I mean, you can't get a mismatch. How's that sound? You can't really get a mismatch when everybody on the team out there is about 6'6", 220, which, really hurt us on offense. I'm just kind of curious what I thought about that. And then the other thing I wanted to say is,
you got to fire away. We got to get to the grades.
Everybody's got to calm down. We're not going to win them all, and that was a good team last night. I hated it. Hated every minute of the second half, but that's a good team. All right, Marcus.
No. Listen, I totally agree with that. That was a good team. I was impressed with Florida State. Like I said, but I got the luxury of not watching it with the emotion. Brian Hall, bring up those times, and I'll say this to answer your point. When Jordan plays the game instead of his game, he's effective. He's much more effective when he plays against the sport. When he goes and gets the rebounds. When he does what the game requires instead of what he wants to do.
Yeah,
he has better games.
Fair.
All right, so we're gonna skip to just the more marquee players. We got Darius Perry. He played 6 minutes, 0 of 2 shooting, 0 points, and it looks like 1 assist.
F for the rest of the season.
Turnover.
F every game.
Darius was not assertive. Darius gets a D. He was not assertive. He got his fouls. He just wasn't assertive. I think Darius kind of hurt Fresh more than Darius hurt himself, by not, attacking. And again, I'm going to keep saying that. I'm going to have this same complaint about Darius until he takes the ball to the basket and tries to score some. Darius, you cannot just rely on having a good shooting night to affect the game. He's just as guilty as as Jordan and Ryan, feeling like your jump shot has to go in to positively affect the game.
Next up, we got Samuel Williamson. He played 11 minutes on 2 of 3 shooting. He had 4 points, 1 rebound, and that's it.
He gets a B for me. He showed up ready to play. He was attacking. He was going after loose balls. He was the one that dived on the ground early in the game and tipped it to maintain a possession. Mm-hmm. The commentators were really enjoying him. They looked like they were expecting more at him. Talking about his accolades, he got a B. He got a B plus actually, because I think he would have had a good game had he played.
Yeah, I was going to give him a B plus because I think he could have had. I think he could have had a 10, 12, and 4. A 12 and 4 game last night had he got more than 11 minutes. Mm.
Next up, we have Stephen Enoch. He played 24 minutes on 2 of 4 shooting. He had 6 points, 3 rebounds, no assists, 1 turnover.
How many minutes?
24.
He had 24 minutes.
Yeah.
24 minutes, 6 points, 3 rebounds.
Yeah.
That's not enough production. I'd give him a C plus because I do think, like I said, when the ball was loose, he was pretty sure-handed with it. He scored most of the time. He touched the ball around the basket. He did not get good position. He did not demand the ball like I would have wanted him to. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I do think he went after the basketball when they lobbed it up. He didn't hang it. He didn't hang his guards out to dry.
Yeah,
like a couple plays where he would have, not really went after it.
Yeah,
he didn't. So I'll give him a C plus.
Yeah, it's a D for me.
Mid C. What? Explain it.
3 rebounds in 24 minutes. I'm over that. We're not a child anymore. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. You do got to get more production.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know
It's
saying. Like, come on, dude.
Next up, we got Fresh Kimball, 26 minutes on 4 of 9 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3. He had 9 points, 1 assist, 2 rebounds, 3 turnovers.
How about this? You ready for this? Hear me out. I'm gonna give Fresh an A in the first half. Second half, you can pick the lowest F you want. I don't care. It's just terrible. It's terrible.
So would that average out to a C?
Yeah. So I'm going to give Fresh a C on the game. Look, in the first half, Fresh
he kept us rolling.
He was keeping you rolling in the first half. When you started inserting that Darius Perry lineup back, Fresh went off the rails, man.
I'll actually give Fresh a C plus. His first half was really, really good. Mm-hmm. His moves around mid range were really, really good.
Yeah.
I'll give him a C plus, almost a B. By the time I finish talking, he may be a B. Mm-hmm. Every time there was a tough call, every time there was difficulty, the camera showed Fresh Kimball talking to people. Fresh Kimball was the first one to kind of get the I don't want to say fight, but he looked like he was ready to mix it up. He was talking to the refs. He looked like he stepped into the leadership role like you would need. Actually, watching Fresh be the leader guy, I saw Fresh in the tournament doing what you said. Mm-hmm. And that second game that we're not supposed to win, Fresh
winning the game for you.
Fresh wins that second game and gets us. Because now
I agree with that.
Since we've lowered our standards so much, that Fresh who showed up there and talking, and like I said, Fresh is going, like condition-wise, Fresh is probably not going to be in that position again where he playing it seemed like he's getting full court press the entire time. Coach Mack is going to have a solution for getting the ball up court and Fresh getting the ball back from, just knowing Fresh can't handle the kind of load of bringing it up every single time.
Yeah.
He ran out of gas. He gets a B. He was a good leader.
He was.
He played in the first half. He kept you in the first half. He kept you with the lead the first half. He did not have the legs to go make a play in the second half.
Right.
And I won't hold him completely accountable, but he did everything he could to try to win that game.
And I'm grading him on complete on the court, and I just thought on the court in the second half he was really bad, but I agree with everything you're saying. I agree with the leadership part. I agree with all that.
Yeah,
and I could blame coaching decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I could be like, this is your fault. He's getting such a low grade in the second half too. So
you blaming coach for your grading scale?
Actually, I'm going to give Darius a lower F because of how bad Fresh played when he was in the game.
B
Darius
minus
gets a E.
B minus.
Darius has an E today.
You so personal.
Wait a minute. A B C D E F G.
Stop.
Darius got
keep going, Brian. Don't let him keep saying.
Next up, we got Ryan McMahon. He played 26 minutes on 3 of 5 shooting, which were all 3-pointers. He was 5 of 5 from the free throw line as well. He had 14 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover.
B minus.
Yeah,
B minus. You were tough. You got some tough calls.
You just can't guard in Florida State game. I mean, there's not many teams that he would be that helpless against on defense.
You got to create. You got to, like Jay Bill said, you got to find a way to get that call.
Yeah,
because I can't. Because after
but he did. He got 3.
Yep, he got the push off in the post. Like he got
and he got the one that wasn't a very good call. That dude come out. If that had been my guy that got that call, I'd have freaked out.
Right.
When the dude he bumped Ryan and Ryan just flew back on the ground. Yeah, I would have lost my mind. So I didn't. I'll give Ryan a B minus. Like I thought he was. I thought he was all right.
You're right. C plus Texter. You're right. I'll give him a C plus.
He kept us in there at the end of the first. At the end of the first half, he was the one hitting all the threes. Man, he had 9 points in like a 5-minute stretch.
And that little situation you got into on that sideline, you got to do a little more posturing, Ryan. I know
he's actually our leading scorer for the game.
He was in the middle of that of the other team's bench. You can't let him just point you out of that huddle and just leave graciously.
That's fair enough.
You got to act up a little bit.
Yeah, give
like
a little.
By now you already in their huddle and they
cussing
and they're laughing. Like you need some footage. Of going at him. C plus.
All right. So we got 3 players left. We got obviously we're not doing Malik Williams, so we got 3 players left since he only played 2 minutes. David Johnson played 29 minutes on 6 of 11 shooting. He was 0 of 3 from 3. He had 13 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 6 turnovers.
I'll give him a B minus. 6 turnovers is a lot of turnovers. I mean, that is a lot of turnovers. But he was still productive. You're better. You were +2 with him on the floor. So I think a B minus is fair. Because, like I said, I'm not going to 6 turnovers bad. I mean, that's a lot of turnovers. But for him in that environment, and with that team, with what they have,
a regular B for me.
Yeah,
you watch the game, man. Yeah. They, when a guy's bringing up the court, and Jay Billis and my other guy says, they've tied the game. Who is Louisville going to turn to? Mm-hmm. And I watch him break this man down, get right in the middle lane, hit, jump shot right in the middle of the paint, nothing but net, jog back down, and then after you hit that shot, you get a bad call and another bad call. Now you're back on the bench for 4. Like, no, you brought it. 6 turnovers is a terrible part of your game. But when you give me 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 12 points,
13 points,
and I actually marked it down. Out of his 6 turnovers, I think only 2 turned into buckets.
That's
probably. Yeah. Because we either got the ball right back, you know what I'm saying, or he turned it over. They got a possession and then went out of bounds.
He's very good at if he does turn it over, he will at least, even if it's a bucket, he'll at least he's there pressuring the shot. Like he takes turnovers personally. I will say that.
Yeah. Like you own. I think that's what made me calm down about 6 turnovers. Because like I said, only 2 or 3 came back.
It's still. I'm going to go B minus just because it's still a lot. Yeah, so that's a lot of turnovers in a game. But we also have saw that's not the norm for him either. So I can say maybe more situational than it is. Mm-hmm. And he is still a human being. I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Keep going, B.O.
All right, so next up we have Dwayne Sutton. He played 34 minutes on 3 of 9 shooting, 0 of 3 from 3 with 8 points, 5 rebounds, 1 block, no turnovers.
The other day, I kind of put him in the A category forever, and I watched him, and he was so tough out there. But I will, like I said, I have to take away because you let your man get you pretty good.
But we know, again, and I know people get nauseated hearing this, but I don't care because we've said it for months. That FSU is the worst possible matchup for Dwayne, man. It's like that's why I hate playing this team.
Because they turn their players into Dwayne's. They turn their 7, 8, 9 man.
Yeah.
They put film of Dwayne and say, if you can be him for us next year, you'll be the man.
I know, man. Like, it's just God.
But yeah, I'll give him a regular B. I'll give him a regular B because they, like I say, Vassell, Vassell just got you. He just got you one of them nights.
He did.
Yes,
and Vassell will go first round. He's a lottery pick right now. So I do want to make sure
a lottery guy
that.
got you.
Yeah,
fair enough.
And the last one to grade is Jordan Nwora. He played 38 minutes on 4 of 14 shooting, 1 of 6 from 3, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 1 block, 1 turnover.
It's going to be a C- or D. I'm just trying to see how I judge his rebounding. Right?
Mm-hmm. I'll go. I'll tell you what. I'll go. For me, I'll give him a C because I thought he did a rebound. 11 points. He is in some kind of funk from the outside right now, man. Like it's I don't know, but maybe I'm happy because maybe I'm like, well, at least you're in a funk now. Maybe you'll come out of this. but he is just in some kind of shooting slump, man.
His refusal to go to the basket, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen him go to the basket a lot. I've seen him get fouled. We need fouls. We need to back Florida State and other teams off the 3-point line. There's 2 people that can help you. There's actually 3 people on this team that can help you do it off the 3-point line.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's David, it's Dwayne, and it's Jordan. You guys are capable of drawing the same amount of fouls that Florida State did. Mm-hmm. When y'all attack. And like I'm telling you, like Jordan, like I know you love the shot. I know you can shoot, but that shot, those tough shots and those step backs, it's just like they're like I said earlier in the game, that hurts your productivity by continuously just taking those and shooting those until you start making them. Yeah. Now, if you weren't strong and if you weren't athletic, I wouldn't say anything. I'd say be another Ryan.
Yeah.
But if you can mix it up and you just don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Because you'd rather just your jump shot be on. Like I said, I just think you're doing yourself a huge disservice and you're doing the team a disservice and Coach Mack. I mean, you're almost putting him into a position where he has to start playing guys who are less experienced.
Well, he's not going to do that. We know that. I don't know what else to say about that one. Oh, yeah. I'll give him a C.
Yeah, D+. Brian, how do you grade Jordan?
I'd say the 8 rebounds is good. The 11 points is okay. It's not great, but 4 of 14 shooting, 1 of 6 from 3. You got to know when you're not hitting and learn to pass it. There was a lot of when you actually watched the game though. There was a lot of times it was very obvious that Jordan was forcing a lot of stuff. That it was a lot about him. They kept talking about the NBA scouts that were there, and maybe he was trying to impress them, but I think he did the exact opposite because he showed that he can't really put the team on his shoulders. I mean, it's one of those things where he's putting up good numbers, but for what his role is on the team, he's not doing what he's supposed to do. If he was just a role player, I'd be okay with the 11 and 8. But he's supposed to be the preseason player of the year. So like an 11 and 8, 4 of 14. But it's a lot more about what you saw in person. I'd say C+. Was
there any doubt that Brian was going to give Jordan Nwora a C? If I would have asked him, what this C is.
It's 50-50. It's right in the middle.
It's 50-50 how good he is. I don't know.
DF.
I was actually
not an AB, not a DF.
I was surprised that you even put the plus on it because that was risky. That was a little. I did it. That was a little on the wild
That's 'cause of
side.
the 8 rebounds.
Yeah. Like I said, I do agree.